What's up, everyone? Champ Bet's back again for another UFC predictions video. This time for UFC 326, the big one. Max Holloway defends his BMF belt against Charles do Bronx Oliveira. We got a banger, the main event, guaranteed fun. And honestly, the rest of the card, pretty fun too. Maybe not the biggest name value for like a pay-per-view, or not pay-per-view, but a numbered event, as we're now calling it. But a lot of fun fights, and I'll tell you what, a lot of betting spots that I like. So we'll absolutely get into that. But first, as always, we go over what happened last week, how we did on the prior card. And we did okay. It's a loss, but it could have been way worse. And the one that we really needed to win came through. So thank God for Sir Francis Marshall. But a little loss, but it's not that bad. So I'll sleep at night. I'll sleep at night. But let's get into each one of those. As I was talking about, the big one, Francis Marshall. I was beyond confident in him here, and he got the job done. Made it look easy. I will not lie. That wheel kick that Eric Silva threw, that landed on Francis Marshall, my life flashed before my eyes. That was scary, and I have to give some credit to Eric Silva because he knew he was kind of outgunned in this fight, and he did what he had to do to try and have a chance to win. Francis Marshall took that, no problem. Thank God. Thank God. But like, that was Eric Silva's chance, some meme like that. But yeah, Francis Marshall, credit to him, is like, oh shoot, okay, let's not deal with some heavy, stupid variance on the feet. Let's get a takedown. I'm fine in this guillotine. I train with killers at ATT. Change position, go on top, and just sub Eric Silva. Francis Marshall's the goods. He made it look easy. I'm very, very happy that he was the guy at massive chalk that I trusted this card. So yeah, good stuff, Francis Marshall. Keep doing well. I love him, and I like him going forward as well. Going up in the division, because man, he is so good and he's so young. He's still getting better and better and better. UFC like him. They gave him a layup in this one. Credit to him. Next fight I had a bet on. Also, I have him parlayed with someone this week, so we'll get into it. My favorite spot this week. So yeah, of course. Next fight I had to bet on, Ernesta Carrasqueta against Regina Taryn. It was close. But I did think Regina probably like did enough to pull through. Like, she had like some of maybe like the bigger moments, although I think again it was pretty close, and she did wobble Ernesta one of those rounds. So it was close margins. I mean, I didn't put too much on this, and this probably would have lost anyways because of the other guy, who, I mean, thank God I didn't bet his money line, and thank God I didn't put much on this. So I can sleep at night. I can sleep at night knowing I didn't put too much on this at all. But yeah, Ernesta, I mean, I thought she competed well. Cardio was fine, and she has to learn how to use her range more. Yeah, she has to learn how to use her range more. Good takedown defense on display. Good work in the clinch. And I mean, something about Regina is like, she is pretty hittable. I am high on her future, but like I'm not necessarily high on her to like get a bunch of wins off the bat. Like, I think she's gonna be due for like losses and stuff like that. But she's good. She is good, and she showed herself pretty well on short notice, even though she had a Muay Thai fight. It's not as short notice. But legitimately, credit to Regina. She looked good. Good old Kill Bill. The next fight I had to bet on, Macy Chasson against Eileen Perez. Macy Chasson makes me want to tear my hair out. If you told me if Macy Chasson wins round one, and I bet her at these odds all my life. Insane by Macy Chasson. I mean, I'm happy that this fight happened after the Yana Santos fight, as well as the, what was it, Kellen Vieira fight, because if it didn't, I would have had a much bigger bet on this fight. Thank God, because I didn't trust Macy enough to put even more than what I did here. I think she blew it. She has all the skills in the world, to make that fight hers. But just, the fight IQ is beyond bad. Why are you trying to go in and like risking chances to get thrown over? I don't understand. And round one was looking so good. Oh, Macy. It hurt me to watch, really. And Perez just doesn't do much. And like, she's calling out a flyweight. She's calling Tracy Cortez out. I know they have a beef or whatever, but what are you doing? Come on. It's just so lame. Um, yeah, so lame in my opinion. It's God. Just give Perez a title shot, and then I'll just make all my money back by just betting a lot of money against her. That'll be fine with me. I'm kidding. Give me. I don't know. I'll probably fade her again coming up, but yeah, good win by Perez. Even though I think it's more on Macy just not doing what she needs to do to win. It sucks because I remember her saying like in the interview going up to the fight, it's like, I'm gonna use my range for like the first time. Like, oh, you didn't. Yeah, you didn't. I'm done complaining. Yeah, it is what it is. I'd honestly probably bet it again, even if Macy is a dummy. Yeah. Next fight up the card, I had a bet on Angel Pacheco versus Santiago Luna. I took a very small shot on Angel Pacheco money line, and I took like a hedge of sorts on the over 1.5 on the fight. Angel Pacheco, salute to you. You are one top son of a gun, and you got the over 1.5 for me. I wish I put more on that, but hey, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, it kind of played out how I thought it possibly could. I mean, I will say Luna didn't wrestle as much as he really should have. I'm surprised. And even when he like let Pacheco up at some point, like it was really weird. I don't hate the bet on Pacheco at all, to be honest. I think because like if he was given a fight, he could have competed in. He did all right. Like the jab was landing. I like some of the body shots. I wish he was able to do a little more late in the fight, but it is what it is. But he's one tough son of a gun, and I'm happy I trusted in that part. So I didn't really end up losing money on that fight. So it feels good to me. I can live with that result all day. So I mean, credit to Luna, did what he needed to do. Next fight I had a bet on. Well, I'll talk about this parlay. I think this is the last one, right? Yeah, the last part of this parlay is El Huber, scorecards, no action. I cannot believe that this part of the parlay missed. I thought it was like void, maybe. Like void, yeah, it could absolutely void. But for Bobby Green, King Green to finish you, dude, that's bad. That's bad. I mean, he got styled on bad. I mean, early on in round one, I was like, okay, Zell Huber doing his thing. He always loses round one for some reason. He just loves to do this. And I knew like betting him like straight up to begin with was like probably a bad idea. But I was like, man, this finish only is probably like a free roll. And I said that in the video. Terrible take by my part. I was completely wrong. And I mean, man, just Green finishes him. Like, if you don't have your durability, like, I don't even know what to say. Yeah, I Zell Huber has the skills, but like, it's just, man, he hasn't looked good at all as of late. So yeah, I don't even know what to say. Terrible performance by Zell Huber. Anyways, so yeah, I that would have missed anyways because of Ernesta. So I'm not losing sleep over that. But yeah. Let's get into the picks for that card. I did fine, but at the same time, is like it was all favorites and stuff like that for the most part. So like 8 of 13. Pinas just, I mean, what was there to say? Like West Schultz had nothing. Like, yeah, you couldn't get takedowns, just gets nuked. Simple as that. Talked about that one. Javier Reyes versus Douglas Silva de Andrade. I actually did have a bet on this fight in terms of 6 strikes and I had with Javier Reyes, and I mean, it got a little dicey. He's defensively not sound, but he's a tough son of a gun, and he's cardio. Douglas Silva de Andrade. I mean, honestly, it was a bad stoppage, but it was going to keep going that way, anyways, because it was going to be downhill from there, and Reyes is going to keep throwing. The 6 strike bet was pretty easy with him and as well as David Martinez, which we'll talk about in a second. Quinones versus Chris Moutinho. I mean, this was a terrible performance by Quinones. Like, I don't know how you should be doing a lot more against Chris Moutinho than what you did. He's just, I mean, he fought safe. I'm not going to fault anyone for doing that, but it's not a great look in my opinion. But credit to Quinones, he did make it look easy. So, yeah. Talked about this one. Gondra beats Medina round 1 KO. I mean, what's there to say? Medina just looked at him and got dropped. Like, Gondra is so bad. He is bad. So, I mean, that doesn't change anything. Talked about this one. Imanol Rodriguez beats Kevin Boras round 2. Oh my God. Insane fight. Imanol is the truth. I really do believe that. He has to work on his entries with the boxing. I will say that. But he's the truth. Also maybe work on the wrestling a little bit to get better entries as well. But he's got so much potential. And I mean, you saw it. Like, be able to dog out that. I like to see that he can go through adversity and come back and win a fight. And yeah, I mean, he put it on Borjas in that second round. And even at the end of round 1 on top, it was just a great thing to see after getting dropped really bad multiple times. So yeah, Imanol Rodriguez is really good. Work on the defense a little bit, work on the entries, the boxing range, so you don't get hurt like that again. It's Borjas. There's no shame. There's no shame in getting cracked by him. And I knew this when I was talking about the fight. It was like Borjas is a lot more live in this fight than he was against Sue. So like, be careful. And yeah, he definitely was. But Imanol did what he needed to do and got the win. Edgar Chairez beats Felipe Bunes. I'm not gonna lie, this was close. This was actually really close, but I think Chairez did enough for rounds 2 and 3 to win. Yeah, I'm happy I didn't bet it. I'm happy I didn't bet it. I did end up like betting it like live, like on Chairez, but besides the point, like I didn't track anything like that. And I didn't suggest anyone do that as well. But yeah, like Chairez landed the better shots, I guess, and he out-volumed Bunes, but he didn't look that good in my opinion. I will say shout out to Bunes for the cardio, look the best it's been in like a while. So credit to Bunes for not gassing at elevation. I mean, no one really gassed on this card, which is good to see, to be honest. Maybe shots on a little bit. But yeah, Bunes, I mean, he gave a good account for himself. So credit to Bunes. Chairez gets a W. Talked about this one. David Martinez beats Chito Vera. I mean, this is exactly what I thought it would be. It's just David Martinez doing his thing, keeping in range, and Chito's not going to be able to really get to him. All it was. Yeah, 6-strike bet on Martinez was easy. What is there to say? And then Brandon Moreno versus Loner Kavanaugh. Lonnie. I've been pronouncing it wrong this whole time. It's Lonnie Kavanaugh. Lonnie looked incredible. I am so happy I stayed away from this one as well. Because like the circumstances were terrible for Lonnie, but to be able to do what he did on short notice against Brandon Moreno, so impressive. So impressive. Brandon really didn't have anything besides a clinch. And yeah, I mean, Lonnie just clearly landing the better shots, and he is super clean. I knew, like, dude, this is not a guy I'm trying to fade at all, even with terrible conditions. So credit to Lonnie Kavanaugh. He looked incredible. And yeah, good for him. But yeah, let's get into the next card. UFC 326. I spelled the wrong card. And yeah, I did these picks on accident, so yeah, we'll go over them pretty quickly. Not quickly, you know what I mean. But yeah, first fight of the card: Luke Fernandez versus Rodolfo Bellato. I'm actually gonna make a change on this one. This one's interesting. I'm gonna go decision for Luke Fernandez. The reason why is because I mean he can finish. Like I'm not gonna act like he can't finish, but I was doing some tape with Luke Fernandez in CFFC, and man, he's kind of a clinch merchant. I can't lie. He's kind of a clinch merchant. I can easily see this fight go over. I am thinking of maybe putting some sort of bet on him, because I mean I think Bellato's just live to just get worked in the clinch and stuff like that. I will say Bellato is also just defensively. Just there's nothing. There's no defense. I don't even know the words to say. There's no defense at all with Bellato. But it's just not Luke Fernandez's style. He just pushes a pace and he tries to get you down. If he does get Bellato down, which he could, you can land some big shots on like mount or something like that and get a finish. But I mean, otherwise, I think he's just going to be working the clinch against the fence and maybe be like a little bit of a boring fight and win a pretty easy decision. It could be later on the fight. It could be. Maybe I'd be interested in something like over 1 round as opposed to the 1.5, because it might be like round 2 where it could get dicey for like going downhill. But besides that, yeah, I think the over 1.5 is an interesting look in this fight. And yeah, I just think I'm so low on Bellotto. There's some fighters I just straight up dislike and think they're bad. Bellotto's one of them. I think he's just terrible. He should not have a win in the UFC, in my opinion. Like, I mean, that's only against Ihor Peteria, and that shouldn't even be a win against Jimmy Crute. I didn't think it was a draw. I thought Jimmy Crute won that fight against Paul Craig. I think Paul Craig was on his way to winning that fight. This guy's bad. This guy's bad. They're trying to set up Luke Fernandez. I think he gets the job done. Although I will say maybe be a little careful because the odds are kind of, I mean, I think they're right, but it's like we're getting to the point where it's probably no value from here on. So I might be on Fernandez in some way, maybe in like some sort of like small parlay-ish or something like that. Maybe look at the over 1.5, but I might just be something I just completely stay away from. Those are just my leans. And so, yeah. But Luke Fernandez probably gets it done. I think he cage pushes. He definitely will cage push Bellotto. So expect that to happen. Gaston Bolanos versus Zhang Yang Li. I think Zhang Yang Li is going to cook Bolanos. I think he's due for a win after looking pretty bad in both his last losses. The Hydra Emil one, I mean, bad fight IQ, just entering into war. Actually, I do want to check something really quickly. Okay, couldn't find what I was looking for because I was looking at where Lee is training at for this camp. I'm not sure if he's at Fight Ready because I know Fight Ready's kind of a dead gym right now. I know Zell Huber was just there, but besides that, like I'm pretty sure most of the guys that were there are not there anymore. I'm not sure if that's still the case with Lee. I know Eddie Cha still at Fight Ready. That was what I was looking at. I didn't see anything from his social media because social media is just barren. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I like him here against Bolanos. I just think he's just better everywhere, if I'm being honest with you. I think he's got the better striking. I think he hits a lot harder, a lot better than Bolanos. I think he's got wrestling upside here. Bolanos' ground game is just not anything that great. Yeah, I think he has all the upside. It's something worth noting that it is short notice for Zhang Yang Li. But I think he's willing to take this fight for that reason. Like it'll be fine. I think he'll be just fine. He did look pretty bad against Daniel Santos, but to be fair, Daniel Santos is pretty good. He is pretty good. And yeah, I think he can exploit the same things Quang Lee did. So yeah, I think this is Zhang Yang Lee Korean Tiger W, and I think it's absolutely something I'm looking to bet. I think it's something I'm more so looking to parlay because I don't want to eat this much. I'm scared of eating this much chalk and putting like a lot down on it. So like this, I mean, this was sort of what I was thinking with like maybe Luke Fernandez to put in with, or maybe someone else later on the card. I was thinking like RoboCop perhaps. Like I don't want to get too involved with these guys, but I want to have some sort of money on top of it. So yeah, I am definitely going to be looking at putting money on Korean Tiger. I'm probably definitely am going to put money on Korean Tiger in some way. Yeah, I think he gets the job done, and I think he just kind of styles on Gaston Bolanos. Runs through him, maybe a bit better way of putting it. Rafael Tobias, or let me look. Okay, I was right. It's Tobias, because I don't want to just call this guy Tobias, because I was like, I'm very sure it's not Tobias. Tobias. Rafael Tobias versus DR Nyorgizai. If you know me, you know how low I am on this DR guy. I think he's terrible, and I don't think that changes. But sorry for yelling in your ear, but I don't think this Tobias guy is necessarily it. Honestly, from a betting perspective, you'd probably rather be on DR than you do want to be on Tobias. Money line wise, I mean. Actually, I probably should just do round one. I know he's a shoot to box guy, Tobias, and he is pretty hittable. And I mean, for me, it's never DR. It's never this guy. I think he's beyond awful. I think he's on this Dana White Contender Series fight. I didn't think he looked good at all in that fight. And in his UFC fights, he's looked god awful in both of them. But this Tobias guy is not great. Like he's very, very hittable. in like not the best sense. I can see this guy get slept like by pretty much anyone if they land the right shot. So I do like the forward pressure though, and I mean that comes with it. That's why he's willing to be able to risk that, because he's coming forward to shoot the box style. And he does crack, to be fair too. But yeah, no thanks. I'm not interested in getting involved in this fight in that sense. I will tell you what though. I think Tobias more significant strikes. Like, I know I talk about my 6 strikes and more takedowns at the end of the video usually, but I'm going to mention it here because I actually really like the spot for that, because I don't think DR is just that much of a volume guy necessarily, at least as much as Tobias, who's just going to come forward and just overwhelm you, you know? So I actually really like that as a look. And like, I think if DR gets him, it's going to be like one single shot, as opposed to Tobias is going to be just combo, boom, 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 boom. So I like that as a look in terms of like betting Tobias. It's probably going to be chalk of some kind, but I think it's a good look. But yeah, that's my thoughts. DR, never him for me. But Tobias is, I'm good. I'm not crazy about him. Suma Duerji versus Jesus Aguilar. This is my biggest bet of the card. China Power. I'm Team China. I love Su here. I love him here. I think this is an even easier matchup than his last fight against Kevin Borjas. And I had big money on not Borjas. I had big money on Su in that fight. What is Aguilar going to do to even get to Su? That's my question I pose to you. I mean, like, I know he has good guillotine. How does he get the guillotine? Su's not going to shoot on him ever. I can guarantee you he's not shooting on this guy. How is Jesus Aguilar going to reach him? He doesn't move good enough. His footwork's not good enough. Su is a master. Maybe not master. I shouldn't be talking like that. He has excellent range management. It's gonna be night and day, like the size difference and the reach difference. Because Jesus Aguilar is tiny. I mean, if Jesus Aguilar is gonna have to like wrestle for his life here, and his wrestling's not even that good. We're talking about Luis Gurule was able to pretty much cook Aguilar all fight, but he kept getting hurt, and his chin has just not been like the best thing ever. And like that's absolutely a worry. That was like a worry with Luis Gurule, but he's not even going to be landing those shots on Suma Duerji, who is a way better striker, way better, just leagues above Gurule in the feet. Yeah, I think this fight can be similar to like the Mitch Raposo fight, except Mitch has, I think, is better abilities to like, in terms of like how quick he is, as well as I mean, he's boxing, but he didn't really box too much in that fight. Yeah, I have trouble seeing how Su loses this fight. I'll tell you what though, if Jesus Aguilar does what he needs to try to do in order to win this fight, which I think will not matter at the end of the day, but if he does try to do what he needs to do, which is wrestle a bunch, I think he's going to get knocked out. I really do, because I think the knees are going to be there with like just the stature and stuff like that to even get those positions on Su. It's going to be big trouble. Like if it does hit the ground, I think of course it is fair to worry. I wouldn't want, but I mean, Su, you definitely know at Team Alpha Male, they're training those guillotines. That's what they're best at. And they're so good at it. I mean, you could, there's on Instagram, you can see Suma Duerji is training with Demetrius Johnson. Pretty good look. But again, Team Alpha Male always go with the guillotines. He's not what he used to be on the ground, where he used to be like literally zero. He used to be literally zero, but not as much anymore. He actually does have scrambles, as seen in the Charles Johnson fight, where he took a while off and he just got so much better. Like, what was the difference? 1 year, 2 year, like a whole year off. He looked like a completely different fighter on the ground, and it was beautiful to see. And his takedown defense has improved massively. I love Su in this spot. He's going to cook Jesus Aguilar. Get in now. I think the odds are going to be moving a lot towards Su this week, and yeah, I love him here. I think he's going to make this look easy. If there's a spot that I like the most on this card, it is this. Suma Duerji all day, every day. Yeah, I love him here. I think he gets the job done. Big Su. Is there anything else I'm forgetting to mention about that fight? Because I feel like There might be. Yeah, I think I said my piece on it. So yeah, Sue. I already have Sue played pretty big, and I'm going to be looking at maybe that KO line as well, which I guarantee you is going to be plus money because Sue's not been finishing anyone. He's very live to finish Jesus Aguilar. Very live. Even if he is tough, it's different with Sue. Cody Durden versus Tumen Dembarel. I'm not going to try the first name because I don't remember how to pronounce it. I'm going Durden to win a decision, but look, I won't be shocked if Toomey nukes him. Here's my suggestion for betting this fight. I think you want to be on Durden pre. He gets a takedown. Once he gets a takedown, the odds are going to go crazy. They're going to go crazy. And once they go crazy, and Durden's a favorite, and Toomey's an underdog, hedge out immediately. Hedge out. You don't want to be risking it because Durden's cardio is a worry. His durability is a worry. Toomey's absolutely liable to just kind of sleep Durden as the fight goes on, in my opinion. But you can't ignore the fact that Toomey's so open to getting taken down. He's got negative takedown defense, sadly. That's as sad as it makes you, because I love Toomey. Yeah, I think Durden's going to definitely find a takedown at some point. Yeah, it's just going to be there because he's been taken down like pretty easily in some of these fights, especially against like Hernandez, who I don't think is even close to being as good as Durden on the ground or on the wrestling. But yeah, I won't lie. Like, those concerns are worrying about like the cardio and the durability. And yeah, Durden could get nuked like quickly. It's possible, but if he doesn't, I mean, he's gonna be winning early for sure. Because if he's not, he's gonna be wrestling the crap out of Tumen Dembarel. The game plan's out there. It's pretty obvious. So yeah, I think he's gonna be doing well early. I think he'll be able to maintain and win the fight like that with the wrestling. Even on the feet, he's not a slouch, but again, we don't want to be there because of durability concerns. But yeah, I think it's a wrestling decision. But I'm not too crazy about it. I do like the hedge strategy where it's like you go in with Durden and then he gets a takedown or something like that. You get Tumen Dembarel at plus money. Sit back and you profit no matter what. So yeah, I think that's a good look for this fight. Alberto Montez versus Ricky Turcios. I won't lie for this fight. I haven't done my due diligence. So don't necessarily take my word as gospel in this one, because I'm kind of going off memory for Alberto Montez, who, if I remember correctly, pretty good submission grappler on the NY Contender Series, but not necessarily just that. He can brawl on the feet and stuff like that. This fight worries me because it's at 145. And I have picked Ricky Turcios. I've kind of always been a Ricky Turcios guy because he's got good cardio. He's got good pace along with the cardio. Brawler, he's a dog on the feet. Got a good chin, and he's got some pretty good jiu-jitsu as well. He's an absolute dog. So I mean, I like backing him, especially as like an underdog. But I need to look into like the size differences and stuff like that. I mean, like I said, apparently Ricky Turcios is going to be taller than this guy. It is short notice for Turcios, although not really, because he had a fight booked with Smotherman not that long ago. But for 264, no, not 260. I can't. No, 324. 264 is McGregor Poirier 3. Besides the point. I don't remember being like super high on this Montez guy. Like I said, I haven't done my due diligence, and I have most of my takes on these other fights pretty set in stone. But it's just kind of this one. I need to look into it more. I can maybe get to a Ricky Turcios play, but even if I do, it'll be really small. But I mean, Ricky Turcios as a dog, I don't think is a bad bet for the most part ever. Okay, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. It'll be a bad bet against like really, really good guys, but I'm not sure if Alberto Montez is that good in that sense. So yeah, I'd only look at a small bet on Turcios, but besides that, nothing else. Deontay Johnson versus Cody Brundage. This fight, man, I want nothing to do with this fight. I'm very tempted on Brundage. I can't lie. I'm not interested in betting this fight at all, though, because I don't trust Brundage for nothing. And he's just coming off this Cam Rouston KO. Like, this just happened. I'll be different. Cody Brundage by KO one. I wouldn't be shocked if he wins a DQ here. I'm not sure if Dante Johnson's ready to pass the back of the head test that Cody Brundage is good at. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. But I mean, seriously, I'm not sure. I really question it. I think Johnson's very green. I absolutely do. I think Brundage is probably live to get a takedown. No, I'm going to be ballsy. I'm for fun. I think Brundage can get a takedown. And I think maybe he can honestly land on Dante Johnson as well. But I have so little confidence in this fight. And I don't want to back Brundage off just getting finished 3 weeks ago, not even a month ago. Crazy to me. Yeah, I want nothing to do with this fight. I get why the odds are what they are with Dante Johnson. It's probably right. I'm going to be honest, but yeah, I'm going to go Brundage round 1 KO. Like, probably this fight does finish pretty early, pretty quick. So, yeah. Well, nothing to do with that fight. Next fight I do want to talk about. I do got a lot of things to say about. Cody Garbrandt versus Long Zhao. I love Long Zhao here. I love him here. I'll tell you what, though. Maybe better not to pre-bet him, though. Especially not, because I see some crappers like really like Garbrandt this week, and it's maybe better just wait a little bit on betting this, perhaps. But I see Long Zhao just drowning Cody Garbrandt. Because one thing you can trust with Long Zhao, in fact, let me do this right now. Come on. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. Long Zhao is beyond tough. He is beyond tough. I know he's got these KO losses from like earlier in his career and stuff like that. This is like way, way back then, years ago. This guy's tough as freaking nails. And if you look at his UFC run, 1 and 2, I'd argue with you, he should be undefeated in his UFC run. I thought he won this fight. Both of these were pretty close. Zhang Ho Lee was just trying to grapple him the whole time. I thought Long Zhao did more damage. Quang Lee, I mean, oh my, this is kind of what I think is going to happen to Garbrandt, to be honest with you. And then Su Young Yu, I thought he just landed the better shots. I mean, you fought pretty well, to be fair. I'm not going to take away from you in that fight. But I thought Long Zhao did the better work. Against Garbrandt, oh my goodness. What I think is going to happen is okay. What I think is going to happen is that Long Zhao, sure, Cody Garbrandt's probably going to land pretty early. He's going to look like, oh man, how is this guy the underdog? Is what people are going to be saying. The swamp will be forming. I think Long Zhao is going to absolutely ape Cody Garbrandt. And if you don't know what I mean by ape, I mean ape as in out athleticism him, out durability him, just completely swarm him, just go win off of hardware alone. I think that's what's going to happen. I think Cody Garbrandt is going to gas extremely bad with the pressure that Long Zhao is going to put on him, and I think it's going to look bad as this fight goes on. And that's why I'm like, maybe don't bet it pre, because it might be a way better live bet. Because I won't be shocked that Cody Garbrandt is tuning up Long Zhao early on, and it's like, oh shoot, he's still there. He's still there. He's still coming back at me. He's still throwing at me. I mean, that sequence at the end of that the jiu-jitsu fight, just elbow, just non-stop. This guy does not stop Long Zhao. He's gonna try and take Cody Garbrandt's head off, and he does hit hard, Long Zhao. Yeah, I think this is going to go very bad for Cody unless he gets some takedowns and he can consolidate control. I don't think he can consolidate control. I think Long Zhao's get-ups are good enough to make Cody's life hell. I think Long Zhao is going to absolutely whoop Cody Garbrandt and get him out of there. Give me Long Zhao. I think 2-3 KO is a great look. I mean, maybe 6 strikes is interesting too. Yeah, I think Long Zhao is going to beat the living crap out of Cody Garbrandt. This guy is good. China power. Yeah, I've always been high on Long Zhao, and I think this is his time now. People are going to find out about him. Shout out Long Zhao. Long Zhao, my boy. Love this guy. Gregory Rodriguez versus Bruno Ferreira. I hate this fight. I hate this fight. This is one of the ones I'm talking about earlier with parlaying with Korean Tiger, Jung Young Lee. Look, I'm scarred. Like, I had a big bet on RoboCop their first fight. I am scarred. But let's be honest, RoboCop was winning the entire fight before then. So maybe I should just remove that part of my memory and RoboCop was winning. I hope RoboCop just wrestles more because I think it can absolutely just grapple the hell out of Bruno, and Bruno won't really have much of an answer. Bruno didn't really do much against Marvin Vettori. Maybe he's going to be going KO hunting against RoboCop. RoboCop showed better head movement in his last few fights, which is it's good to see. We just didn't really have that against Bruno the first time. Yeah, I have to go with RoboCop. I think he's just going to absolutely overwhelm Ferreira and just bring him down. So yeah, give me RoboCop. I think he gets the job done. It's scary to back because yes, his chin is very, very scary to back, but especially a guy like Bruno who can't crack. But I think RoboCop gets the job done. Give me RoboCop to get the job done. I just repeating myself. Drew Dober versus Michael Johnson. I'm going Dober KO. I mean, that Zell Huber one doesn't look that good after what King Green did. Honestly, both these guys have not looked. I mean, no. MJ has looked good, but against who? Darius Flowers, bottom of the barrel. Ivan Zaitar, bottom of the barrel at the time he fought him. And Daniel Zell Huber, who we thought was good. I think he is still somewhat good, even with looking terrible in some of his losses. But it looked good in those fights. Dober has been losing to really good comp. Renato Moicano is a completely different style matchup. Gene Silva, I mean, no shame. Gene Silva's pretty damn good. Manuel Torres, I mean, he got caught. And yeah, that's not probably MJ, what MJ is doing. And Preppa, like, he wasn't looking good either until he got the finish. I just think Dober finds a chin on MJ. At the end of the day, MJ is still super old. Drew Dober still hits really hard. I don't think MJ is elusive enough to stay away from the power shots from Dober. So yeah, I think Drew Dober gets the finish and finds a chin. I'm not overly excited to bet it. I mean, what's the odds at right now? Drew Dober plus 115. Oh my god. I'm not overly excited to bet it. I mean, maybe something like fight ends by KO is interesting because I think both guys can have a potential to win by KO because Drew Dober has been cracked a bunch of times now. MJ, I don't trust his chin at all. But yeah, I like Dober here. I think he gets the job done and gets a finish. Maybe this is one of the ones I'm looking at parlaying or something like that. Small though. Like it wouldn't be big at all. Wow, I'm surprised this is the case. But yeah, I think Drew Dober gets the job done. Rob Font versus Raul Rosas Jr. This is another tough one. You know, I'm going to go Rob Font. I think he's shown enough veteranship to be able to do what he needs to do to win this fight. I think this fight reminds me of the Kyler Phillips fight where, okay, round one might be really dicey. But after round one, I think Rob Font could probably do what he needs to do to get the job done against Raul Rosas Jr. And, I mean, light him up with volume on the feet and damage. And I think Rosas has trouble. I mean, I don't think he's going to be doing well against Rob Font on the feet unless he hurts him, which potentially is possible because Rob Font's chin is definitely not what it used to be. I mean, never was really that good, to be fair, but he gets hurt. And yeah, I think Rob Font on the feet is going to light up Rosas Jr. Yeah, I think I think he knows the game plan here. I think he knows what he has to do, outlast Rosas and make that cardio go. And yeah, I think this is a pretty big step up as well compared to Vince Morales, Mongolian Murderer, my beloved, Ricky Tercios, who's pretty good. I mean, I give credit to these three wins, to be honest. I really do. But yeah, I do think this is a pretty tough ask for Rosas Jr. But I just don't want to back Font because I'm just so I wouldn't be shocked if he just gets like destroyed here, to be honest, and like subbed in round one. But I think he's the betting side, and But I feel like I've looked at myself in the mirror and be like, yeah, I can live with myself for not betting this fight, even if I miss out on Rob Font winning at plus money. It's fine with me. Yeah, give me Rob Font. I think he knows what to do to get the job done. Kyle Baralho versus Reiner the Ritter. This is one of my favorite spots on the card as well. Kyle Baralho, I think, is going to make this look pretty easy against RDR. I think this is just a rehash of the Paul Craig fight. I know it's not the same. I know RDR is not as withered as that Paul Craig was, who got KO'd so many times. He's got more tools as well. His clinch work is a lot better than Paul Craig's. And I mean, what is it? He's also huge. But besides that, I mean, isn't this not the same fight? It's going to be Kyle Barajo crashing to the pocket, throwing some big shots and jumping out. It's going to be that the whole fight. I think the footwork's going to be too much. I think the speed's going to be too much. And I think Kyle is going to be target practice at range. I don't really see how RDR is going to be able to get this fight in the clinch, get this fight on the ground where he needs to. And even if he does get this fight on the ground, I mean, I think Kyle Barajo is the better wrestler. I think he can be fine in the positions that RDR puts him in. It will be dicey. It absolutely will be dicey. I will be sweating if it gets on the ground, but I think Kyle Barajo knows he can keep himself safe down there if needed. But yeah, I think Kyle is gonna absolutely make this look pretty easy, to be honest with you. I'll give credit to RDR. I do think he's kind of tough, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle gets a KO here. Yeah, I think the spread on Kyle is probably going to be a pretty all right look, like the -3.5. I'm very curious what odds they'll have that at, but yeah, that's what I'll be. That's something I might be looking at, but I have a money line bet on Kyle, and I think maybe I'll just stick with it and ride with it. Yeah, I think Kyle Barajo gets the job done. And then the main event, Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. I like Max Holloway to win this fight. The reason why I like Max is because I think the footwork is going to be a little too much for Charles to handle. Charles likes to push you back, pressure all day. But I think with the footwork Max Holloway has, it's not going to be working so well. I don't think Charles is going to be able to get to positions to get the clinch and do the knees he loves to do because of that footwork. And I think that he's going to be off the center line and then just counter Charles. And I think Charles is going to get pinged a bunch with volume. Yeah, I think Max is going to land a bunch of Charles Oliveira. I'm not really worried about the grappling, to be honest, with Charles Oliveira. Unless he hurts Max, which, I mean, is possible. We've seen Max's chin get cracked a few times now in his past 3 fights. Like that's when it'll be scary. But like when fresh, not hurt, I think I trust Max Holloway's takedown defense as well as his get-ups, as well as his BJJ defense to keep himself safe on the ground against Charles Oliveira. And I just think the pace he puts on, the cardio puts on, it's just going to be too much for Charles to handle. And yeah, I like this fight to finish in the middle rounds, in rounds 2, 3, 4 for Max. I think fight ends by KO is an interesting look as well, because both guys can probably KO. I mean, they definitely can KO. Both guys can get KO, and it's fading Charles Oliveira sub, and as well as probably Max decision. I don't really think Charles is winning no decision in this fight. Yeah, I just think he's gonna wilt as the fight goes on. And I think Max does his thing. Max Holloway doing what Max Holloway does. And Max Holloway hits like a truck in this weight class. Charles Oliveira got cracked really bad against Ilia Topuria, and that's not something I'm gonna forget about. He fought Gamrot, he's not really known for cracking people. He's got nice boxing. I'm not going to take away from Gamrot. I always talk about Gamrot's boxing being nice, but it's not like he's like really, really hurting people that bad for the most part. I think Max can absolutely hurt Charles and maybe get him finished. I mean, it's probably the same thing with Charles right back, but Max at this weight class does hit better than he did at 145. But Max still has the pace he does. So yeah, I think Max Holloway gets the job done in the rematch. And yeah, give me Max Holloway. I like him a lot here. Yeah, I have him bet as well. But yeah, I like that fight ends by KO look, honestly. I think that's a really good look. Now, as always, more 6 strikes, more takedown bets. We'll get into each one of those. Luke Fernandez, Rodolfo Bellato, more takedowns. Fernandez, I mean, Bellato, I don't think he's going to get a takedown this guy. More 6 strikes. It's interesting. I'll go Fernandez, but that could be kind of dicey because he doesn't necessarily throw the most. But yeah, more takedowns, Fernandez. Zhang Yang Lee, Gaston Bolaños. More takedowns, Zhang Yang Lee. Gaston's not going for no takedowns here. 6 strikes could be interesting, but I'll go Zhang Yang Lee. I think he's going to land more shots, of course. But I wouldn't be shocked if it's like maybe Gaston lands more and Zhang Yang Lee still wins or something like that. So DR versus Tobias. More 6 strikes Tobias. I already talked about that. I really like that. More takedowns. I mean, I don't know, man. I want nothing to do with the more takedowns in this fight. Sue versus Jesus. Jesus is going to be the only one going for takedowns in this fight. Sue's not going for no takedowns. More 6 strikes. Sue Darji all day, every day. Yeah, there's a distance management. He's going to be pumping out that jab, and Jesus is going to keep getting hit by it. Not good striking defense, honestly. So, yeah. Durden, Tuma Dembarel. Durden, more takedowns. More 6 strikes. I'll go Durden because of his top. I think you could do some 6 strikes on top. But I won't be shocked if Toomey gets his more 6 strikes. But, yeah. More takedowns to Cody Durden all day. More 6 strikes. I'll go Tercios because he's a high volume guy in general. More takedowns. I guess it could be either way. I'll probably go with the bigger guy Montez, but yeah, I'm not crazy about the more takedown one. Dante Johnson, Cody Brundage. I don't know, man. Just nothing. I want nothing to do with that fight at all. Garbrandt, Long Zhao. I'll go Long Zhao, more 6 strikes. It's possible that Cody Garbrandt lands a bunch of 6 strikes early and then he just gets colded. It's very possible that happens, but I think if Cody Garbrandt's still somewhat there, Long Zhao is going to be landing a bunch. But I'd say tread carefully with that one. And more takedowns, probably Garbrandt. I don't think Long Zhao is going to be really going for any takedowns here for the most part. So, yeah. Gregory Rodriguez, Bruno Ferreira. More 6 strikes, RoboCop. I think it probably plays out like the first one where RoboCop's just throwing a bunch more and then just because you get colded. But more takedowns is interesting because maybe Bruno wants to bring in the judo for this one. But I mean, RoboCop's got some judo of himself. So I'll go RoboCop, more takedowns. I think that's absolutely a path to victory, and probably his best path to victory if you're asking me. Michael Johnson, Drew Dober, more takedowns. I don't, probably Michael Johnson more likely. I mean, I don't know. Drew Dober will go for some, actually. I don't know. I want nothing to do with that. More 6 strikes, probably MJ. Just more of a volume guy, more of the minute winner in this fight. But I think Dober catches him. Rob Font, Raul Rosas Jr. Rosas Jr. more takedowns easily. Rob Font's not going for any takedowns here. And then Rob Font, more 6 strikes I'll go with because I just don't think Rosas is going to be throwing much on the ground. Barajo, RDR. Kyle Barajo, more 6 strikes. I like that a lot. I think he's going to be out 6 striking RDR all day. Then RDR, more takedowns because he's the only one really going for takedowns in this fight, I'd imagine. So, yeah. Then Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira, more takedowns. Max is not going for no takedowns in this fight. No. And more 6 strikes, absolutely Max Holloway because he's going to be boom, boom, boom. He's the volume king for a reason. So, yep. Those are my picks. Those are my bets for this card. Thank you so much for watching. You can check me out at betmma.tips, champ bets. And, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great one. We have a cool, I believe, Apex card next week. And very excited to talk about that one. Some betting spots I like on that one, depending on odds. But, yeah. If I have anything else that I'll change my mind on the week, maybe I'll have a more in-depth breakdown of Tercios versus Montez. Maybe I change my mind on Dante Johnson versus Cody Brundage, which is very possible. I'll put it in the comments below. But otherwise, yeah, those are my thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. Peace. Have a great one.